Okay, welcome to the Crow Discovery Project. I have a huge clip here. My prediction of the lunar wave on the calendar that I laid out for September this month was fulfilled by Richard 205 Maria. Richard 205 Maria now has multiple captures. I need to go back and count them. I think he's getting up close to how many lunar waves I have filmed. At any rate, I made this prediction back before I went on the road trip, so it was prior to August, I believe, that this would be the best opportunity to film. Now, even though Richard 205 Maria has filmed the lunar wave on the 20th, this is not over yet. Everybody should be filming all the way to the 30th to include the lunar eclipse. This is a big clip. I'm going to run some audio from three of us trying to film the lunar wave: Houston, Skywatch, Randy, myself. I have Saturn from both coasts and stars being occulted. So stand by after the footage I'm going to run here from Richard 205 Maria. So here's the original file format that he sent me. I believe it's already been produced. I will blow it up in a minute and I will cue you. The waves are going to come from the bottom right. And here comes the first one. There it is. Get ready. The second one, bottom right. And here it comes. And there it is. Now I'm going to blow this up. Thank you so much, Richard 205 Maria, for fulfilling this prediction. This is prediction number 2. Here comes the wave now from the bottom right. There it is. Get ready. The second one's going to come from the bottom right. And there it is. Now stand by. Here comes the conversation from last night with three of us hunting the wave. And there's more footage after that.
How you doing, bud? Hey, pretty good. All right, we got Crow on the line over here too, man. You hear Crow?
You got me, man. I got both you guys.
Don't you just love this fancy equipment we got nowadays? Well, man, I tell you what, we probably got the best night that we've had in the last week or so for clarity, and it's just like crystal clear over here. I mean, there's not a peep in the sky right now, so like, anything good's gonna happen, let's make it happen tonight, you know?
I got my fingers crossed, man, because it is as clear a night as I've had, and we've been 105. Wasn't too hot today, so the heat shimmer's not killing me. I'm shooting in full spectrum tonight, and I didn't set up the visual. I'm just gonna go it with my Canon for now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm all set up and filming live, so. Yeah. Well, Crow, I guess if I had about $3 or $4 grand to just plot down on a good Gen 3 or maybe even 15,000, might be a good idea. Them things are not cheap, dude. Woo.
No, it's all very expensive. I mean, that's always the problem. That's always the limiting factor. If I could just choose any old gear I wanted, I mean, we could, within a year, we'd really put a dent in people's perceptions of what's going on.
You're right. You're right. And I think that's a limiting thing on all of this research. It's shade tree mechanic type stuff. You know, it's just backwoods. You know, doing what you got. You know, working with what you have, and yeah, it would change everything. I think. Of course, I think what you're doing right now, guys. I know I'm not on YouTube or anything like that, but what you guys are doing is just it's making a dent in it. I can tell you that because I listen to other interviews across the board, and Crow, your name is mentioned all the time, and as time goes on, your name's come up several times too with the weird work that y'all doing. So people are taking notice. I can tell you that people are taking notice. You know.
Yeah, well, that's always good to hear. I mean, well, I always hear about Crow in a negative light typically. I've almost gotten to the point where I'm, trying to defend them, because it's, most of the attacks and everything are just ridiculous to begin with. Particularly the subject matter. A lot of them, like, a lot of people say the lunar wave is an airplane flying by. Well, just last night I caught an airplane flying by, and I haven't even posted the footage yet, but I mean, it's clearly just not anything like the lunar wave footage is. I mean, it's just not as clear, it's not as crisp, it's not a definitive line.
Right. Right.
You know, it's funny because I think I have at least 4 or 5 complete transits of the moon by planes, by jets, all different sizes, and I've never seen anything but kind of jet wash. And the one thing I notice is some of them have really kind of lingering emissions. Okay, so let's cut the audio right there. I'm going to show you some shots of Saturn from both coasts. It's kind of interesting. But the whole idea that planes were making a lunar wave was started by an attack channel that ran 24 videos in a row. Anyone who wants to can go back and look at the footage that's been posted about the lunar wave. People who are actually out there doing the work will tell you that it is literally ridiculous. Not to mention it kind of insinuates 9 people now are lying that a plane caused it because they could have seen and heard it. At any rate, here is footage of Saturn that I shot from California, and in a minute here I'm going to load some Saturn shots that I shot in Virginia, and check it out. It's very interesting for obvious reasons. Let me blow them up side by side here. So let me load the dates. So back in May, with my full spectrum Canon, I shot Saturn. It's a little jumpy because I've slowed it way down because the clip of the good footage is not that long on the left, so that's why it's a little bit jumpy. And on the right, it's jumpy. I have not slowed down that clip, but you can compare. This is going to be very interesting to a lot of people. Shot just a couple months apart, or a few months apart maybe I should say, and look what you see. Look at the tilt of the planet, look at everything else. So while I was on my road trip, the night that we shot chem planes through the telescope successfully, I managed to swing over on Saturn, and the reason I did it at the time was because we had filmed this kind of strange object that was not visible in the visual spectrum that we saw with the full spectrum camera. But I wanted to run this because I think a lot of people interested in describing this world that we live on that has been misdescribed will find this footage very interesting. But as I promised, this is a big clip. Not only do we have a fulfilled wave prediction and the urging of everyone to continue to film until the 30th of this month, I'm going to run some footage of occulted stars, stars being occulted by the moon. 3 of them now I have done in preparation for trying to prove that at times during the very new cycles of the moon, the disk of the moon is see-through. So let me load that footage up now. Okay, so I'm going to load up 3 recent occultations of stars by the moon. In other words, stars being blocked by the moon that I have filmed recently with the full spectrum camera. I realized some time ago that the full spectrum camera would give me the ability to do this, and I'll tell you after we view the 3 clips why this is important. So if you look at the upper right, the yellow line is kind of showing the outline of the moon, which is difficult to see in this clip. The blue one shows the star. There it is blinking out, and now I will zoom in without the moon outline. So there's the star, and what's strange about this is these things go all at once. Boom, there it goes, behind the moon, supposedly. Here's another example. It's a bit easier to see the outline of the moon, and there goes the star. I will blow this one up. Okay, here's the blow up. Pretty easy to see the outline of the moon there, and bang, all at once they go. And this is the best example we have because I shot this one last night when I was on the phone with Houston Skywatch and Randy. Here's the blow up, and there it goes. The reason this is going to be important is because when the moon is new or nearly blacked out, as you see maybe on the 13th, 14th, 15th, even the 11th through the 15th in this calendar, there are many reports of objects showing through the blackened portion of the disk. There are even folks who have showed me images in the modern day, who have them posted on their channels, of stars showing through the darkened portion of the disk. But you know me, I've got to go out, name the object, get the time, do all the documentation, and hopefully get others to replicate it. So there it is, big clip. Saturn from 2 coasts, stars being occulted by the moon, and the all-important prediction, the second prediction of the lunar wave has been satisfied. At the vernal equinox in 2015, I predicted that we had the best chance to film the lunar wave, and Randy filmed it. Now Richard 205 Maria has fulfilled this prediction. So there it is, guys. We have predicted the best chances to film the lunar wave twice now in a row, and that prediction has been accurate and the wave has been filmed. We have a few more days left, actually quite a few more days left in the month of September. I would urge everyone to go out and film the moon as often as possible and film the lunar eclipse, because these events are manipulations. There it is. Cheers.